Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? Can they hear me? Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? No? Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? If not, I'll speak louder. I'm good at that. Welcome. My name is Marcia Terwilliger, and I'm the city clerk, and I work for Mayor Robinson, council members, and city administrator, Mr. Hall. I'd like to welcome everyone here it's my pleasure to welcome everyone here to the OT Hall for the presentation of the E.D.A. grant funding for the city of Lake City. It's now my pleasure to welcome Mayor Robinson for opening remarks.
Good morning, everyone. I am Yamika Robinson, the Honorable and proud Mayor of this great city of Lake City. It is with great honor and excitement to welcome you here today on behalf of the City Council and administration as we gather to witness and celebrate a very exciting and momentous occasion for our city. First, I would like to take a few minutes to recognize all of our elected officials here today. I hope I do not miss anyone, but if I do, please take it for love. Could our Lake City Council members please stand? Let's give them a round of applause. Any members of our Florence County Legislative Delegation here today? Please stand. Please stand. I saw Roger just waving, but no, everybody got to see you, Roger. Florence County Councilman Jason Springs could not make it today. All of our Florence County mayors that are present, could you please stand? Thank you, thank you. Let's give a warm welcome to the Honorable Congressman James E. Clyburn for being here today. We give a huge thanks and welcome to U.S. Deputy Secretary of Commerce, Mr. Don Graves, for being here today. Welcome to the City of Lake City. I appreciate you both immensely for making time out of your busy schedules to present this grant to us today. The room is filled with so many of you who make up this amazing city and county. Lake City City Administrator, Mr. William Hall, can you please stand? All Lake City staff members, can you please stand? Miss Haiti Stith. All right. Dr. Harry Lassane, Greater Lake City Alliance and Dollamore Foundation. Unfortunately, Ms. Moore was unable to make it today. Greater Lake City Chamber and Lake City Black Chamber, if you're here today. Let's still give them a round of applause. Kevin Yoakum, our Florence County Administrator. He's here somewhere. I don't spot him right now. Lynn Wilson or anyone else from Florence County Economic Development Corporation. Thank you. Art Fields Group, if you're in the house today. Thank you. A very special group from Florence School District 3. our Student Government Association from Lake City High School. Woo! And J. Paul Trueluck, and all the staff members from the school district as well. Please stand and raise your hand. My daughter Jada is part of that student government as well at Lake City High School. Jada, can you raise your hand? You know Mama wasn't gonna leave you out. Dr. Laura Hickson, Superintendent of Florence School District 3, could not make it today. Boys and Girls Club, I think I saw Mr. Stormy here. Oh, there he is. Thank you. And so many others. My mother is usually present at these events, at every event, but unfortunately she's been having some health challenges. But I know she's watching and listening on live stream. But my father is here. Mr. Jimmy Robinson, can you please stand up, sir? Thank you. Every officials, business owners, residents, students, and more, please give yourself a round of applause for being here today. So that means I didn't leave anyone out. This is my second year as mayor of Lake City. After conversing with other mayors across the state of South Carolina and the U.S. when I attended the African American Mayors Association conference this year, the top 3 mayoral priorities for 2023 and 24 listed in the State of the City NLC report were economic development, housing, and infrastructure. Today, our city is being awarded a grant from the Economic Development Association, E.D.A., for our Ackline Stormwater Drainage Infrastructure Project. This project will alleviate flooding in numerous areas of our city that have affected our local businesses and a few residential areas along Thomas Street, Ackline Street, Weber Street, and more. This project will not alleviate flooding over the entire city, but it will bring a great sense of relief and hope to our city. For the other areas that we are very much aware of and concerned about, no worries, because we are strategically planning to get relief there as well. For far too long, our city has faced the threat of flooding and damage it brings. This project will lay the foundation for a stronger, more resilient future for our city. I was born and raised here. Lake City is my hometown, and over the years, we have faced many challenges. When I take a look around this room, I see a community that refuses to be defined by its challenges. Instead, we are defined by our ability to rise above those challenges. This project is going to be proof of what we can achieve when we come together with a shared vision and a commitment to making that vision a reality. It's been a long time coming, but we're getting closer and closer by working together. My father grew up on Thomas Street, which is one of the main streets that has flooded for years and still floods to this day. But this E.D.A. grant and project is about to change that. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." God's plan for Lake City's future is filled with much prosperity and hope. I want to express my deepest gratitude to the E.D.A. for believing in our city and helping to make this critical project possible. This grant is a testament to your faith in our potential, and we are committed to ensuring that your investment yields lasting benefits for our community. I also want to thank the dedicated individuals who have worked so hard to bring us to this point, our city officials, administration, staff, advisors, state representatives, engineers, and others who have poured their energy, expertise, and support into this project. As I conclude, I would like to encourage our staff, citizens, county, state officials, students, school district, everyone, let's continue to support one another, lift each other up, and work together toward the common goal of a brighter, more secure future for our city. Together, we are building something extraordinary, and I am proud to be your mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Robinson. It is now my privilege to welcome Mr. Hall to provide you the project overview for the City of Lake City.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I get the part to do the history of this project. A little bit about the history of Ackline Storm Drain Project. I want to thank the business partners, the mayor, council, the elected officials, and all that are here today to witness what we're about to achieve. A $13,500,000 E.D.A. grant to fight flooding in this community as we have experienced in the past. These funds, in conjunction with the RIA forgivable loan in the amount of $1 million in funds from the City General Fund will make this task possible to complete. The city truly recognizes the strong endorsement and advocacy of our grant application we received from Congressman Clyburn. We appreciate the Congressman's great leadership as well as the support of Senator Graham. We have also benefited greatly from the partnership with the Greater Lake City Alliance, the Dollar Moore Foundation. They have been a great, consistent, wonderful resource in this process. Without the expertise writings of a grant writer by the name of Haiti Stith and the city grant team, we would not be in the crossroads today. The city advocacy efforts with the federal policy makers were a well-invested time in this process. The close work that the grant team did with the E.D.A. application review staff was a major undertaking and achieved a record grant for the City of Lake City. The community leaders and everyone as a whole share a sense of gratitude to the U.S. Department of Commerce and Deputy Secretary Graves for traveling to Lake City, South Carolina to present this grant to the community. The Ackline Drainage Project will upgrade a significant portion of the existing city storm drainage system to reduce the potential for flooding events by replacing undersized pipes and improving the outfall to the lake swamp. This project will include the demolition, where applicable, of existing stormwater infrastructure and construction of an improved storm drain system. Ackline flooding directly threatens the heart of Main Street with a 57-room hotel, the Inn at the Crossroads, 2 small manufacturing firms, art galleries, significant Main Street retailers, 6-unit apartment building, local restaurants, and a farm stand. Also, city offices, senior center, event space, fitness center, and the Continuum, which is a $23.5 million education facility, is located in this area with the primary impact. This project will allow Lake City to increase the capacity of the current inadequate storm drainage system to provide storm drain where it doesn't currently exist in the heart of the city. The City of Lake City proposes to construct improvements within the Ackline Project Basin. The proposed project is located within the right-of-way of North Ackline, adjacent to the existing CSX railroad tracks, and within the right-of-ways of various streets extending west of Ackline to include Lee Street, Calhoun, and others. The drainage improvements are intended to alleviate multiple drainage and flooding issues, including reoccurring structural flooding within the project basin. The main storm drainage line will be constructed on West Ackline Street from Lee Street to the Lynch's River Drainage Basin and connect existing drainage lines along with constructing new drainage lines in the downtown residential and commercial areas. The first part of the project basin consists of approximately 122 acres of downtown Lake City, an urban area mostly residential and some commercial areas. Drainage in this potential basin is generally served by ancient, undersized, closed pipe system. At Ackline Avenue, the drainage is collected in 2 culverts under the existing CSX Railroad at Lee Street near Cash Avenue. These 2 culverts are also undersized for the contributing drainage area, and thus extensive flooding occurs along Ackline due to bottleneck created. The railroad also acts as a dam during the flooding events, preventing the surface flow of floodwaters to the east. In the downtown second improved basin, which is another 122 acres, drainage is generally collected in the main drainage line along Church Street before discharging onto a canal culvert system in Dancing and Rogers Street. Stormwater runoff flows from the project basin to the improved basin through the culverts noted above. The proposed improvements would divert about 95 acres of stormwater runoff to the project basin from the downstream improved basins. The diverted runoff will flow north in the proposed trunk line to Ackline to exiting channels to be improved north of Kelly Street. The project will improve drainage relief and flood mitigation that will substantially reduce the risk of future structural economic damage and business residents and infrastructure. The relief will encourage economic development, growth within the city of Lake City. Neighborhoods west and east of Ackline will also see a reduction in street cave-ins from poor drainage. The implementation of proposed drainage project will ensure that emergency responders will be able to access across Ackline, responding to the needed emergencies. Citizens and truck traffic, essential for commerce activities in the region, will no longer experience detours from the temporary road closures due to flooding. The project eliminates persistent flooding in the heart of Lake City, with the threat of property damage disrupted from road closures removed. Existing future businesses and investors will be confident to invest in continued improvements at the expansion and new employment. The city will be more resilient when structural flooding is eliminated. Thank you so very much for being here today.
Thank you, City Administrator Mr. Hall. It gives me great pleasure to present to you and welcome Congressman Clyburn.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much, and thank you so much for welcoming me here today, Mayor Robinson, members of council, members of the legislative delegation, all of the staff members who are responsible for this. I don't mind taking credit, but I know who did the work. My staff, thank you for being here. Now this project, we were talking about a $13.5 million investment from E.D.A., a part of the Department of Commerce, and I want to thank Secretary Graves for his friendship over the years. We've known each other for a long, long time, and it's really, really good and productive to be working with him in the Biden-Harris administration. But you know, when you have a project like this, it's not done in isolation. As I read about this project, the funding of it, if my memory serves, about 1.67 million is coming from the state. 1 million, 300,000 from the city. 300,000 from the city, 1 million from the state, the county. These things require collaboration. People need to be working together to accentuate each other. There's a song I used to quote in speeches a lot. The song says, accentuate the positives, eliminate the negatives, and don't mess around with Mr. In-Between. And so I really, really like that song for its meaning, because no matter what you attempt, you're not going to always be successful. You are going to have trials, tribulations, you're going to have fits and starts, you're going to have successes and failures, All of that comes with trying to do things that need to be done, and it's always a problem getting everybody on the same page. I know a little bit about that. I was married to the same woman for 58 years. So I know how tough it is sometimes to get everybody on the same page. So we have to really, really work together. And when I came over here several months ago and I sat down with the mayor, she told me about her vision. We were over at the, I guess you call it, Education Consortium, and I was really carried away with that, but she was interested in the fact that here in this community, named Lake City, you were getting unwelcome lakes in the middle of downtown, and she wanted to alleviate that. And this project grew out of those discussions. And Mike Tonger, yours guy in Washington, he does you a pretty good job. And this is an indication that he's earning his pay. And so I want to thank him so much as well. Now I'm going to let Secretary Graves talk about E.D.A., Department of Commerce, and the federal government. Nobody has a question where I stand with the Biden-Harris administration. This infrastructure project grows out of the bipartisan infrastructure bill. I worked very closely with a bipartisan group in the House to get this done. I reached across the Capitol to Lindsey Graham to make sure he stayed on board with this, and when the bill got to the Senate, he cast his vote in favor of this bill. This in the case of him taking credit for something he didn't vote for. He voted for this, and he worked very close on this. And I've been talking to your mayor about this city and what we need to do to capitalize on this great history. I'm a big history guy, and I believe in utilizing the history to benefit everybody. Our history is what it is. You can't change the history. What you need to do is to learn it, understand it, and work together to make sure that those things that are good, you accentuate it. And those things that were bad, you eliminate it. That's what it is. And I see so much future in this history that we can really find other sources of resources to do what is necessary. So I just want to congratulate those of you who ever made the decision to bring the students here today. Thank you. I started my professional career as a public school teacher, teaching history in the Charleston County public schools. I grew up right over in Sumter, learning history. I love this state, and I'm committed to do everything I can to make this state a better place for my children, my grandchildren, and I now have a great-granddaughter. And that little girl's mother is a graduate of the Medical University of South Carolina and is a pediatrician. And when we talk about South Carolina's and South Carolina's future. And we talk about what we can do, working together to make a better future for these young people who will soon be graduating high school. They'll be going to post-secondary education. And notice I say post-secondary education. Some of them will go to college, 4-year institutions. Some of them will go to 2-year institutions. I was in Charleston yesterday looking at a facility that's building. There are 4 new construction plants going up down there, and they tell me they need 300 mechanics. 300. And they can't find them. And they started telling me they are making $90,000 to $110,000 a year if they can find them. And so we need to work together, provide the kind of experience these young people need to have, so many of them will stay in this state and help us make this state a better place. I don't want to see what I grew up with. When I graduated from South Carolina State, 83% of my class left the state. 83% of the class I graduated with left South Carolina. We need to do the things that are necessary to keep them here. And one is improving the quality of life in towns like Lake City. And that's what this project will do. Improve the quality of life, make them feel proud of their hometowns, making them want to stay in their hometowns, make them want to stay in South Carolina, so we can make this a better place. Thank you, Secretary Graves, for being here. Thank you for looking kindly upon this project. Thank you so much for what I know you're going to do to help us keep it going. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Councilman Clyburn. It's my honor and pleasure to welcome Deputy Secretary Graves.
Well, hello, everyone, or should I say good morning. It is really great to be here. I want to thank you all for the warm welcome. Of course, Mayor and Town Administrator, thank you for everything that you've done. I couldn't be more pleased to be here with the City Council members, the state delegation, so many leaders from across this region, but maybe most importantly with my friend, one of the great leaders of this country, Congressman Clyburn, to celebrate what I think is not just a significant milestone, but a game-changing milestone and investment for disaster relief, but more importantly for recovery here in South Carolina, most importantly here in Lake City. So it is great to be here. And I want to say that you all know the Congressman, and frankly, we wouldn't be here today if it weren't for him and his strong leadership over a number of years. I won't say how many, but thank you, Congressman, for everything that you do. Communities in this state, unfortunately, and you all know this too well, are no stranger to extreme weather. And like so many other states across the country, the need for robust disaster relief resources couldn't be greater. President Biden and Vice President Harris understand that when we protect our communities from the impact of natural disasters and shore up their ability to recover, their capabilities going forward, we foster stronger economies, not just for some, but for everyone in the community. We mitigate that devastation from happening, and we save lives. And at the Department of Commerce, we're focused on creating an economy that works for all Americans, not just a few, but for everyone in this country. Building a resilient infrastructure is key to getting us there. And that's why our Economic Development Administration has announced this $13.5 million grant to Lake City for water infrastructure improvements. It's important because it's supporting local businesses, supporting livelihoods. Mr. Cook, where did Mr. Cook go? Was here earlier. Oh, I'm sorry. From Lake City Electric told me all about what you've gone through, the impact that it had on your business with the flooding just a few years ago. There was $750,000 of damage that you sustained that you had to pay for out of your own pocket. But it's because of that commitment to the city that you made in this community that I think shows the resilience of this community, and that's why we need to make this type of investment so we can be there right with you as you stay in this community and continue to invest, just like so many other businesses. We saw the law offices just a little while ago, State Senator. So that's why we're here. The grant will alleviate flooding in the city, helping to reduce structural and economic damage to businesses, to homes, to infrastructure. And E.D.A.'s investment, as you heard, is being matched by $1.3 million in state and local funds, demonstrating that this is a commitment that's community-wide. It's critically important that we do this in partnership at all levels of government. This project is just one of many that have been funded and championed through legislation that's been championed by leaders like Congressman Clyburn. And as a result, nearly $500 million in additional funds, thanks to his leadership, have been provided to E.D.A. to bolster disaster relief, to support recovery, to invest in infrastructure for communities just like this one in Lake City. Investments like these are crucial in wake of the types of natural disasters that we're seeing. You all know this firsthand. Just a few short weeks ago, Hurricane Debby passed through and brought torrential rainfall. It's a clear reminder that the devastating impacts of climate change are here now, and we have to act accordingly. That's why we're so proud to partner with Lake City, why we're so proud to protect your economic future. This type of extreme weather takes a disastrous toll on people's lives and livelihoods, hinders their ability to lead lives of dignity, but make no mistake, the Biden-Harris administration is on a mission to change that. Our goal isn't simply to help rebuild disaster-impacted areas, but also to help chart a direction, chart the country's course towards increased economic growth and opportunity. Because when America's communities are protected, its economy prospers. We're creating an economy where it doesn't matter where you live, where your zip code doesn't determine your destiny. And we're doing that by making historic investments across the nation that will give communities like Lake City the launch pad they need to compete and to thrive in the 21st century, to create good-paying, family-sustaining jobs for the young people that are here in the audience today, to do what Congressman Clyburn said, give them the opportunity to stay in their community and build a life, to build a family, to live out their hopes and their dreams. We just have to give them that opportunity. You know, it's interesting that we're here in Lake City because growing up, when I was young, and I'm trying not to betray my age too much, growing up, I had on my wall a poster of 3 astronauts. And one of them happened to be Lake City's own Ron McNair. Dr. McNair was one of the people that I aspired to. I wanted to go out in space and thought I could do that. That wasn't the direction of my career, but I was there in school when I saw the disaster play out in real time. But I know that his memory, the drive that he had, inspired me to do things that I wouldn't have thought to do on my own. So it's that type of inspiration that can come from any place in this country. Ron McNair inspired me, and now I'm the Deputy Secretary of Commerce. We have young people here who I'm sure have hopes and they have dreams. This investment is going to allow folks to have the types of jobs that will power the future of this community and communities across the country. So I couldn't be more proud to be here in Lake City, the home of one of my heroes growing up, Ron McNair. And what we're doing with this investment and all of these types of investments around the country is we're employing strategies that center equity so that minority and underserved communities across the country, every community can fully participate in these new opportunities. For example, E.D.A.'s tech hubs and recompete programs are designed to supercharge innovation all across the country. And we announced one here in South Carolina not too long ago, ensuring that the economic benefits of these investments flow through all of our communities, not just some. Our Internet for All initiative, the Congressman talked about why it's important to invest in all types of infrastructure. Our Internet for All initiative is connecting households and businesses all across the country, including here in Lake City, to reliable, affordable, high-speed internet so that no family has to choose which of their children, and we all saw this in the pandemic. Parents were making that hard decision of which child got to go to school or got to do their homework on any given day because their bandwidth at home was so limited. How do you make that choice? You have 3, 4, 5 kids, you're trying to decide which one gets to go to school that day. We're making that investment so the small business owners can access markets not just across the street, across the city or the county, but all across the globe so that they have customers to grow their businesses, so that our seniors, no matter where they live, no matter how far away from their doctor they live, they can always access telehealth when they need it. These investments in our infrastructure will allow us to outcompete the rest of the world, but we have to make those investments now. That's why the President and the Vice President, working with Congressman Clyburn and his colleagues, were able to get this passed. This administration, working with our partners in Congress, has been working around the clock to meet you, to meet your community where it is, not having you have to find us and seek out the resources. We want to meet you where you are, helping you to take center stage in the ways that we develop our policies that affect your daily lives. I'm excited to see that these resources are making a real difference for people's lives every day. They're saving businesses. It's creating opportunities for, as I said, good-paying jobs. It's the type of thing that will have a measurable impact for this city, for this state, and I am looking forward to continuing to work with my good friend, the congressman, and leaders all across the state to ensure that South Carolinians' safety, security, and success goes on for as long as you want it. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited. $13.5 million, Madam Mayor. Congratulations to you and the city. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Secretary Graves. I'd now like to give closing remarks to Mayor Robinson.
Good morning again, everyone. This has been a huge day for the city of Lake City. Very historic, and I am so happy that all of you are here today to witness this, especially our young people. We've heard so many key words here today, and just to kind of go back on a few, that was opportunities, which we hope to bring more with this grant. The partnerships, that we work together, better together, because having healthy partnerships bring what we need to our city. And that's working with the different organizations, different entities, school districts, whatever organization you're part of, the city of Lake City, the town of Scranton, the county as a whole, the state as a whole. We should work together, better together, the residents, the citizens, the businesses. We all make up the city of Lake City. We all make up the county of Florence County and the state of South Carolina. So when we all come together and work better together, we bring things like this to our cities. So we can have the resilience and the sustainability for us to continue with the businesses and the opportunities to keep our young people here. So much have been said today, and I really hope it sink into a lot of us so we can move forward and see our city shine and see our state shine. And I want to say thank you again to Congressman Clyburn and your staff, U.S. Deputy Secretary Graves, thank you again. Please don't let this be your last time in Lake City, especially with a check. Thanks for all our state representatives, our council members, everyone. I can't thank you enough. This has been an amazing day. We have been smiling since I received that call on last Tuesday that we received this grant. Thank you, staff, administration, Mr. Hall, City Administrator, for your dedication and working diligently every day to making sure. And the grant writers, yes, Ms. Haiti, Ms. Lisa, Ms. Q, thank you. and my dear friend, Mr. Mike Tunger. Thank you. As we can see, it's a process that you have to take. We have to make sure those I's are dotted and those T's are crossed. Things can't happen overnight, but when we put our heads together and we put our expertise and our education and our knowledge and our hard work in together, we make things happen. So I thank you again, and whenever you're ready to present the check, we're ready.